The last additional paragraphs we could choose to include, these ones we choose to include. Key audit matter paragraphs, we have to include if there is a key audit matter paragraph, as well as a material uncertainty paragraph if there is a material uncertainty and it has been disclosed. So we've got two others, an emphasis of matter or another matter. An emphasis of matter, you're emphasizing a matter included in the financials. Whereas an other matter is you're trying to draw the user's attention to something that's not included in the financials. So I'm just telling them about something outside of the financials. So an example of an emphasis of matter is maybe if we are still waiting for an outcome of a litigation. And so you just want to draw the user's attention to the fact that this was potentially disclosed in the financials, and they just want to be, just to highlight it, because it was in the financials, they might have missed it. Something else, maybe if they've early adopted a new standard. So again, it's in the financials that they have got this new standard, but I'm just highlighting it to the users. Hey guys, just to be aware. Whereas in other matter, the information's not in the financials. It may even not have anything to do with this set of financials, but they might become aware of something outside of the financials, and I just want the users to know that I'm also aware of it. And so an example is maybe if the financials had been prepared on another basis, because maybe they have a foreign holding company. So there's two sets of financials. The set that I'm currently working with and expressing opinion are here. But there's another set outside that are going to the holding company prepared on maybe US GAAP. And I just want the users to know, hey, I am aware that there are another set of financials out there that differ to these, but that's because they have a holding company that they have to report to in terms of US GAAP. Or maybe I wanted to withdraw from this audit, but I wasn't able to legally. Okay, remember, if there's fraud, we can choose to withdraw, but maybe there's a situation where I wasn't able to. And I just want to let the users know I wanted to withdraw, but I was unable to withdraw. So there's nothing in the financials that actually shows them that I tried to withdraw or not. And so now I'm going to put it in an other matter paragraph. So I'm just giving you some examples of where you would have either of these two paragraphs. It's not often that these two paragraphs actually do appear, because look at these examples that I've given you. They're minimal. So you would have to see this specifically in a scenario in order for you to add this specific paragraph. Okay, just also note the appendixes in ISA 706 give you the examples of how you would include the emphasis of matter paragraph or other matter, and how you would actually detail the information necessary. Okay, so let's go have a look at the standard. Into the standard, same paragraphs highlighted, let's go to the required. When you would give an emphasis of matter paragraph, you want to emphasize a matter that has been included in the financials. Just note here, this is not going to make us modify the opinion. Okay, this is just something we want to emphasize. So A5 to A6 gives me examples. Here they are. A5, if there's uncertainty about a future event, or there's a subsequent event that is considered significant, or they're early adapting or applying a new accounting standard, or something that could result in a catastrophe on their financial position, so going concern issues. Then when would we do and include an other matter paragraph? Okay, when we want to include information on something outside of the financials, and a 9 to a 14 gives us some help there. So an example here for other matter paragraph, here it says, maybe if the auditor wanted to withdraw from engagement, but they were not legally allowed to withdraw, they might want to explain in an other matter paragraph why they have not been able to withdraw. They had to carry on, give the opinion, and they just want the users to know that this is why they had to do that. And that's ISA 706. Guys, open up the solution to the class example so we can see how the work we've just covered impacts it. Assigning audit opinions here. So you would look at each misstatement individually first to give an individual opinion if it's required. So in this instance, repairs and maintenance, if they process the adjustment, you would give an unqualified. But if they don't, so they don't adjust, then you would say, there is a material misstatement, it's limited to PPE, so I will give a qualified opinion. For goods in transit, if you said that adjustment is required and they don't adjust, once again, it's limited here, so I would give a qualified. However, if you said that it is not quantitatively or qualitatively, therefore adjustment is not required, you would give an unqualified. And if they did adjust, if you said they required adjustments, you would give unqualified. Allowance for credit loss is exactly the same. If you said adjustment was required and they did adjust, unqualified. If you said adjustment was required and they didn't adjust, qualified, because it is limited to one area in the financials. If no adjustment is required, then unqualified. And then guys, you've got to come down and look at the aggregates again. And once again, here you can see the aggregate is below materiality, so unqualified. So you would look at each misstatement individually and give an opinion if they adjusted or didn't, and then your aggregate of uncorrected and give an opinion. All right, let's go back to the lecture. The types of questions you can expect, guys. For misstatements, we've done exactly the question you can expect, where you have to evaluate misstatements identified and then potentially consider if there are any immaterial, uncorrected, therefore preparing that schedule of uncorrected. You may be required to audit an adjustment if there are misstatements that are material and you request that they make the adjustment. In terms of reporting, discussing the impact of the misstatements on the opinion. Here are the misstatements. What does each misstatement result in if it is the only misstatement affecting the opinion, and then the aggregate of misstatements affecting the opinion. And going concern and any subsequent events, how they affect the opinion. And then the different modifications. You may be required to draft. I don't think that is going to happen. However, if you are required to draft paragraphs in the report, you've got illustrative examples in ISA 700, in 705, and in SAPS 3. All right, guys, that's the lecture.